Hi, I'm Peter, creator and lead designer of Tales from Elsewhere, and this is TFE Tutorials, a short series of videos that will teach you how to play a Tales from Elsewhere role-playing game. Today's video is about core mechanics, giving you the underlying systems and language you'll need to get the basics of this system. So let's hop in and talk about actions, skills, and injuries. The foundational concept of TFE is the rank, a hierarchical series of words like layman and master that are used to measure how good a character is at shooting their revolver or lying to a lawman, how hard it would be to swim across a raging river, and the relative strength of a monster. Ranks range from layman at the bottom all the way up to mythical at the top, with the players generally capping out at master rank. That's the limits we mere mortals can achieve. Each rank has 3 numbers associated with it: a bonus, a difficulty, and injury dice. When a rank is used to express how good you are at something, you add the bonus. That's the number you add to your skill test when attempting relevant actions. When a rank is used to express how hard something would be, you use the difficulty. That's the number you must meet or beat with your skill test to succeed. When a rank is used to express how deadly an injury might be, you use the injury dice. That's the number of dice you use when making an injury roll. When a rank changes, maybe from a consumable or special feature, the 3 associated numbers all go up with it. So if your grit rank is novice and you take a swig of whiskey to become emboldened, your rank becomes adept, which makes your bonus go from +2 to +4. So let's talk about rolling those dice. There are only 2 types of rolls in TFE: skill tests and injury rolls. A skill test is rolled whenever a character attempts something that would have a chance of success or failure, when there'd actually be consequences should that character fail. You roll 1d10 and add the bonus from the relevant skill. If that result meets or beats the difficulty associated with the rank of what you're attempting, you succeed. You'll never add or subtract any other numbers from that roll. No further math required. If you would high roll a skill test, maybe because you're emboldened from that swig of whiskey, you roll 2d10 and take the higher of the 2 before adding your bonus. If you would low roll a skill test, maybe because you're frightened after witnessing a friend get torn in half by a blood oiler, then you would roll 2d10 and take the lower of the 2 before adding your bonus. High roll and low roll don't stack with themselves and cancel each other out. One of the main ways you'll be making skill tests in TFE is to make attacks, like swinging a hatchet or shooting a rifle. The rank of an attack, how hard it is based on how far away you are from the target and where on their body you're targeting. The closer the target, the easier the attack. The more vulnerable the location on the body you're targeting, the harder the shot becomes. Distances are abstracted in TFE. Things can be adjacent to you, which is within your reach. They can be close, which is in the same room, the distance you can move with 1 action. They can be far, which is down the street from you or what you could traverse in 2 actions. And distant, anything beyond that, way off in the distance. Your survivor sheet has a handy graphic that shows you these distances and their associated ranks for making attacks for easy reference. For example, if Mudo shoots his revolver at a zombie that's close to him, it's a novice rank skill test. If he aims for the head, which he rightly should when fighting zombies, then the rank increases to master. The difficulty associated with master rank is 10, so he'd need to get a total of 10 or higher on his skill test to succeed. All of these numbers are known to you as a player. You don't need to check with the storyteller to determine these. Now, if the target of your attack uses a reaction, like diving for cover or blocking, they roll a skill test, the result of which becomes the new difficulty for the attack if it's higher than the base one, potentially causing you to miss. Zombies don't take reactions, so Mudo doesn't have to worry about them diving for cover or anything like that. If Mudo succeeds at shooting the zombie, we need to determine how deadly that shot was, and to do so we'll need to talk about the second type of roll in Tales from Elsewhere, the injury roll. To make an injury roll, you roll a number of dice based on the relevant skill rank of a size based on the weapon, and look for the lowest result. In Mudo's case, he's a master at the ranged skill, so he's rolling 4 dice. The revolver uses d8s for injuries, so he's rolling 4d8. If the lowest result is a 4 or higher, it inflicts strain. If the result is a 2 or a 3, then it inflicts a serious injury. And if it is a 1, then it inflicts a critical injury. This is true of any weapon or attack you make. Now, Mudo was targeting a vulnerable part of the zombie, its ace, as we call it. This upgrades the resulting severity of any injury he inflicts to that location. So if Mudo rolls a 3 on his injury roll against that zombie's head, he'd inflict a critical injury instead of a serious one. So let's talk injuries and how they're tracked. As you can see, there's a hierarchy of injury severities. Strain, superficial cuts, bruises, and exhaustion. Serious, impactful but not immediately life-threatening. Critical, dangerous and debilitating. and lethal, immediately life-threatening. Below strain would have no effect, and above lethal would be instant death. Every character has an injury tracker that has a limited number of slots of each type of injury. If all the boxes are full of a particular severity and they receive another injury of that level, then it gets filled into the next most severe box. If there are no slots that can fit that incoming injury, then the character dies immediately. When something is resistant to an injury, like from armor, it reduces the severity. When something is vulnerable, like the ace of a character, then it upgrades the severity. The two cancel each other out. Now, injuries can also have complications. These are negative conditions and extra penalties that last until that injury is treated. For example, if you take a gunshot wound, you would start bleeding, causing you to be strained every turn until you plug that hole. Or if your leg gets mangled in a bear trap, it would be disabled, preventing you from walking on it. These debilities add up fast and are the backbone of how the players can strategize to take down deadly foes. And that's the core mechanics of a Tales from Elsewhere game. If that sounds cool to you, check out the links below. We have a Kickstarter running where we're going to be funding the hardcover rulebook of the Clockworld setting, a post-apocalyptic Weird West world. And if you'd like to try out the game for free, there are quick starts and playtest packets and even an open game license you can check out. Links for all that below. We also have further tutorials on the playlist associated with this video, so hope you check that out too. Alright, have a good day, y'all.